Hello everyone, this is hakaymgaming and welcome back to another episode of Funday Sunday, and in this episode we have a really good game with the HIV, and we are currently playing on Tears of the Desert, playing standard, which is a little bit better, especially for the HIV. She does a really good job being able to be very mobile, very versatile. We have a Yamato, Massachusetts, 2 Tirpitz, a Magi, Worcester, HIV, Zhao, Buffalo, Kronstadt, Shimakaze, and a Z23 on the enemy team. There's a Yamato, North Carolina, 2 Bismarcks, a Magi, Des Moines, HIV, Zhao, 2 Buffaloes, Shimakaze, and a Harikaze. And well, if anyone is well aware and has been watching my channel for some time, they probably are aware that I really do like my French cruisers. I probably would say I'm the most experienced, especially within my clan, with the HIV, with French cruisers, because I play her almost every single battle in Clan Wars. And it's just a ship I generally understand the best and I can reliably do really good in. So starting off, we're starting to push up north, and our Shimakaze is slowly coming in. Now the thing, or I guess you could say the gimmick about the HIV is she's really, really fast. She's the fastest cruiser, and the second fastest ship in the game, including speed boost and whatnot. She can get up to around 43.9 knots, so she's very, very quick once she gets the speed boost going, and she's obviously a different beast with that speed boost. So playing the normal style, normally you want to play the long distance support cruiser that the HIV is really good for. She does have a couple downsides. The most major is going to be the fact that she has a very large detect at 12.7 kilometers, which is not the greatest. She's the second largest, counting only the mainline cruisers that you can get. I'm not including like the Kronstadt or the Stalingrad. She's the second greatest as far as being detected, so right below the Moskva, whatnot. So for the starting off, she is a really good fire starter. She has best as far as per shell causing fires. Zhao is the second best, but Zhao actually has 1 additional turret, but does reload a little bit slower than what the HIV can. So as usual, being the long-range sniper is kind of what the HIV does a really good job at, and being that fire starter. And you can just watch how quickly we can burn down this Bismarck. Bismarck instantly repairs his first fire, and that is something you do not want to do when dealing with any cruiser, because, well, they can always land another fire, and once that fire hits, it sticks. And that is something you just don't want to do. Now, one downside about these guns, and they are big guns, they're 240 millimeter guns, so they do hit pretty hard. They have really good AP, as you will see later on. Does really fantastic against cruisers and even against battleships at time. But these guns have a few negative aspects. They're not the quickest as far as reloading, around I believe almost around 11 seconds to get a reload going. And another negative aspect is they do take a little bit of time to actually get turned around. Now, I inadvertently ran into the corner or the edge of the map, and I'm not a big fan of doing this. I've seen this happen in standard, or sorry, in random. I've seen this happen in clan wars or clan battles, and it's just absolutely aggravating for enemy players to do this, because it is difficult to hit a target that is border humping, and I truly despise it. Now, the Shimakaze is and is going to be doing a really good job. Give props to the Shimakaze captain. He does a really good job in this battle. Does spot the Harikaze for a second. I believe actually the Harikaze was firing. But for the most part, our teammates aren't doing so hot. We've already lost 2 ships. We've lost our Buffalo and another cruiser. And Shimakaze is doing what it does best, dropping a crap ton of torpedoes towards the Bismarck. I think he might be a AFK, but we do get 2 fires. It actually does look like he's AFK, which is interesting. Now, right now, I should be helping taking out this Harikaze, as he is starting to become a problem for Shima. Harikaze can have the Akatsuki guns, so it does have that slightly better firepower, but a HIV against a destroyer can definitely wreck it. And another nice aspect is the fact that HIV is fast, so it can chase down most destroyers in a battle, as you will be seeing kind of later on. So Harikaze does pop his smoke screen, does disappear. We're being aimed at by the enemy Bismarcks, and does look like we did take out that AFK Bismarck as well. But now we're actually going to pull back. Not a lot of support over here. Most of our team has gone to the southern area and are currently trying to hold off the enemy team down there. Now, the other nice thing about the HIV is the fact that she does have armor that does prevent always full penetration. Spaced armor is actually the word I'm trying to think of. Spaced armor, which means that the check that the armor piercing has to go through every time it lands into the side has to be done twice. So it can get a ricochet or cannot. So you can actually be saved by the spaced armor within the HIV. So that is definitely a huge major benefit. And another, I guess, downside about the HIV is the fact whenever you turn sharply when you have your speed boost on, you do struggle with your guns at times, so it can be aggravating. But essentially the whole idea behind the HIV is being nimble, and then again you can get slammed like that, getting essentially a citadel from the rear. Always not the best thing to have, but at the moment this Bismarck is gonna get away. It does look like Shimakaze did drop torpedoes on him. Team is still kind of struggling. We are down 1 ship. We do have a enemy DD lurking around our cap, and we do get another fire on the enemy Bismarck. And this is actually a really good tactic, is coming to a stop and reversing, and the enemy battleship does miss his salvo, but we do get another fire, so that is going to burn on him. And gonna try to see if we can get a little bit more damage. Like I said, the HIV is really good at just causing these fires, but he is starting to get outside the range, and the range is decent on the HIV, 19.1 kilometers. Really beneficial having that long distance ability. And the shell trajectory is not as good as obviously as the Moskva, but fairly decent. I have little issue landing my shells at long range, so you definitely can use that for your benefit. Now, as you saw there was a Harikaze that is currently stalking our base, and our team's not doing so hot. We're currently down 5 ships to 3. Enemy team is predominantly in the southern area, and our forces are fairly scattered. We still have a friendly Yamato who is currently camping that rock back there, but as you can see, do finally spot the Harikaze and opening up, and just watch how quickly that Harikaze goes down to both the combination of the Kronstadt and the HIV. Alright, so we have brought ourselves back. The enemy team has no more destroyers. We still have 2 of ours. Buffalo is around that corner, so do have to be careful about him. Does have the American AP, which does mean it can citadel me, and this is very dangerous. And as you saw there, we did actually manage to get hit, and Buffalo does pop around the corner. Honestly, I wish I had AP right there, because this Buffalo is making a very, very dangerous mistake. He is just trying to get the AP on us. Doesn't actually do any citadel, but we do return the favor with our own AP. And once again, the AP with the HIV is pretty phenomenal. Did almost 19,000 points of damage right there. But as you can see, we are currently being focused on by at least 5 ships, and it is probably going to be a good idea to actually get turned away as quickly as possible. That's a lot of big guns, but one nice thing about the HIV, as I did point out, is she's quick. So if this situation does occur, you can definitely use that speed boost, use that speed to get out of harm's way and just pull away as quickly as possible. So definitely a huge benefit there. The armor on the HIV is not the greatest. Does definitely eat a lot of HE damage relatively quickly. But as you can see, our guns are pretty fantastic. Do get a citadel on the enemy Des Moines. Fire is still burning on him. And let's see if we can get another one. No, but we do at least damage his gun. So things are still looking grim for us at the moment. Enemy team is still in advantage, but we do get a triple citadel on that enemy DM, which is always nice seeing. I love doing that, especially against cruisers that don't expect to be citadel at long range, or even a bow on Zhao. I love doing that against it as well. So now that we're a little bit pulled back, we can actually begin just farming damage against the North Carolina, and hopefully should help bring him down. Now as far as damage, we're actually doing pretty well. We're sitting at 166,000 points of damage, but we're not done yet. Enemy team is still definitely actually caught up. We actually managed to bring it back a little bit, which is very fantastic. The enemy team did have an advantage, albeit no destroyers really available for them, and we have just earned Confederate, and we have attracted the attention of the North Carolina, and that right there is our last heal. We have no more heals available for us, and kind of sniped that kill. Shimikaze actually did get the torpedoes on that North Carolina, but our last salvo did manage to take it out, so that was definitely an advantage for us. And now it looks like we're once again tied with the enemy team. The enemy team still has a full health, near full health Yamato, while we do have exact same. Yamato actually hasn't taken any damage as of yet, and not really a big fan of this. He's essentially been sitting a little bit further back and sniping. Really hasn't been up front taking the damage, and that's kind of what battleships need to be doing, is taking the damage, not being in a position where just being focused down, but at least being up there to at least soak up some damage, because you do have the armor and you do have the heal available for you. But at the moment, our team is now officially head in ships. The Wooster does take out the enemy Amagi, which is very, very beneficial for us. And now we're going to begin focusing down this Yamato. This Buffalo is going to be a problem for us because he is going to have radar, and our Shimikaze is starting to get in a very dangerous position. Now at the moment, we haven't seen the enemy Zhao or Bismarck that we saw at the very beginning of the map. Don't know why they waited so long just to get back into the battle. I understand the Bismarck because he did take a lot of fire damage, but I do switch over to the enemy Buffalo, and let's see if we can try to help out our enemy Shimikaze. There we have just earned Witherer, which is actually very nice. Didn't get a lot of damage against this enemy Buffalo. We're actually going to try to turn back in, and there we've just earned high caliber. Shells looking like they're falling a little bit short. Hopefully trying to get some citadels, but just not having luck. We did at least damage his gun. One nice thing for the Shimikaze is the Bismarck Buffalo actually has a very long reload time, so it does mean that it does take a little bit of time to get its guns opening up. And there we go, finally get that citadel. That very apparently hard to get citadel, and this poor Shimikaze is going to go down to the fire of the Buffalo, which is unfortunate. This Shimikaze actually has done a really fantastic job in this battle, and there we go, got the kill on the enemy Buffalo. We are now 2 ships ahead of the enemy team. Enemy team still has a Yamato, a Bismarck, and a Zhao. I believe the Zhao's near full health, as well as the enemy Yamato. Our team is looking, well, actually looking not too bad. Our Yamato actually has, like I said, taken very little damage. Wooster's about half health. Our Z-23 is very close to dying, and is going to make a very interesting decision in a moment, because he's going to get really close to this Yamato. But I think he does instantly smoke up and starts to disappear. Kronstadt is also alive, so we have a very good possibility of actually winning this battle. And as far as damage, not too bad. 211,917 points of damage. And I would like to actually break my record. My current record is in the Des Moines at 283k. And I would like to definitely break this record. Have a new high record. That would be fantastic. There's a lot of enemy ships with a large amount of health. If we can just get in range. Yamato is currently not spotted, which is unfortunate, because it would have been nice to actually start opening up on him. But he's currently behind the island and is not in a position to really be spotted at the moment. And this is dangerous, getting close to a battleship. Normally you want to be staying at long range, and that is obviously a Yamato, and you do have to be extremely careful. I would like to turn away, but at the exact same time, I really want to get that damage going. So I'm going to be aggressive. Fortunately for us, the enemy Yamato only has 1 rear turret. So as long as we can just at least try to dodge and take very minimal amount of damage, we should be fine. So as usual, starting up with HE, getting a fire is always nice. Just gonna try to get that fire damage and use the maneuverability of the HIV to avoid the shots as much as possible. And it even looks like the Bismarck's trying to assist as well. Now, one nice thing about the HIV is her AP is actually really good against battleship broadsides. You can definitely use that to your advantage. As you see, this Bismarck is probably going to be interesting choice. Do switch over to AP and watch how, look how much damage we actually managed to do against this Bismarck. Shots out, incoming, and almost 10,000 points of damage right there, just with 5 shells. And being a dodgy little cruiser, do manage to avoid the enemy Yamato shells. Another 6,000 points of damage right there, just focusing down the enemy Bismarck. Going to drop my torpedoes. Torpedoes are lackluster. They just do not do that much amount of damage as you would hope. There are only 3 of them, and they only have a 9-kilometer range. Now this is very risky. I was thinking I could go down, so might as well drop my torpedoes, see if I can get at least a torpedo hit and maybe get some flooding damage. We're doing pretty well right now. 262,000 points of damage, but this Yamato is unfortunately going to go down right there. A devastating strike on the enemy Yamato. All that's left on the enemy team is this enemy Zhao. Now this enemy Zhao has 30,000 points of health, but he's starting to get at the very longer reaches of my range, and am hoping, or was hoping, to at least get a citadel, at least get that nice chunk of damage, because we're at 268,000 points of damage. If we only got like about 16,000 more points of damage, we would have beat our record, but unfortunately 270,000 is gonna have to be sufficient enough. So that is 1 dead Zhao, and that is end of the battle. So as you can see, we earned a victory. Not a bad battle. We brought home 729,875 silver, 15,750 XP, earned Confederate, Dreadnought, Witherer, and High Caliber. We did 270,884 points of damage, 231 shell hits, 3 kills, 7 citadels, 13 fires, and 1 spotted. We were top of the team with a base XP of 2,741. As far as damage, it was pretty much against battleships. Most of our damage was, in fact, fire damage. The HE shells did around 94,112. AP did 100,125. Our fires only did 76 and 53 points of damage, so AP did a really good job there. Getting those nice, beautiful citadels is always so fantastic with the HIV. But anyways, this is going to be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like what you saw, hit the like and subscribe button. You guys have a great and fantastic day. Zaijian.